I hit up a couple people. This is a thing that I feel very strongly about, that I think is really important,
Oh,
and it
okay. We're digging right in. Let's do it.
it enriches your life. I think that if you have people in your life that you have not talked to in a long time, it's very important to just drop them a line out of nowhere. Be like, "Hey, I was thinking about you. Hope you're doing well." Or, "I was thinking about you. What are you up to?" You know,
Right.
that way, "I hope you've been well" is not necessarily inviting a conversation. If you just want to put the good vibes out there, but you don't have time to like chat, that's an
Right.
option. Then also, what have you been up to? It does rekindle a little conversation.
Hmm.
I think that then it lets people know, hey, doors open. I'm here right now to listen, chat, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was doing this with a friend, and she told me about a date that she went on. This is years ago, and we just got to talking, and she told me that she went on a date with this guy, and it was one of those things where it was like a date that was set up after a meet at a bar. Okay.
Okay.
So they meet at the bar, and like, it's loud, it's dark. It's like all of the recipes for a person to not come off like a monster unless they're an absolute monster.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all the work is being done for you right now. It's hard to hear you, it's hard to see you. Like, if you're
You're getting away with a lot right now.
yeah, if your drawing personality flaws still shine through, then you are a true monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Your terrible flaws are brighter than any light.
Yeah, you are dull. And so and so they get to talking. She's like, oh, okay, he's got like, I don't know, it's a little something about him. And he was looking a little nerdy, but she was like, it was in a cute way, not like a extra dweeby way or anything. And so she was like,
Okay.
okay, let me see what's up. And so he ends up asking her out. And so she's like, yeah, all right, sounds great. Let's meet up, in a couple days. They set the date for a couple days from when they met.
Hmm.
And
His face still looked shadowy.
yeah,
Like
my man just
he still looks like he's in the dark.
my man just walks around with shadow constantly on his face. He got extra shadow. He's out here trying to be suave, really just being a demogorgon, It's terrifying. It's
Yeah,
terrifying.
just awful. Otherworldly, one could say.
Yeah, I rebuke you is what I would say if I saw him in person.
I rebuke you.
If I saw
Next date, I'm bringing an old priest and a young priest.
if I saw a man with mostly shadow on his well lit face, I would slap him with an open Bible. And so basically, what ends up happening is they meet up, and it's at this like Chinese restaurant, and he's like still a little nerdy, still a little like quiet and everything. And now she's like, oh, okay, maybe I was a little tipsy and he's more awkward than I remember. Like, maybe I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because I was a little drunk, which
Right. Yeah.
of course you were.
Yeah.
Of like, I feel like that's a
Happens to
given.
all of us, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically he's like looking down a lot, and then he'll look up at her really quick, but then lose the courage to keep eye contact. And
Oh.
she was like, it was almost adorable. It was happening a lot to the point where it was like, I can see how some people wouldn't find it cute
Right. Yeah.
because you're at the table with me. You're not looking across a room now. Like,
Yeah.
now you're looking at me and then looking at the tablecloth. It's like, oof.
Or then you look down, you're like, damn, he has really cool shoes on. He just keeps looking at him. He's like, these
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah. And so he starts asking her, questions about herself, her life, and everything.
Mhm.
She tells him where she works and what she does for a living, and then she starts to reciprocate asking those questions to him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really focusing on my art right now and everything. So I'm in between
Shoe art.
jobs and stuff." and she wishes. And and I'm living with some friends at the moment. Just getting back on my feet and everything. Like
Yeah.
I make a little money doing odd jobs and with my art, and so I'm good. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
living. And she was actually taken aback and impressed by how content he seemed. Like, these are things that when someone answers, sometimes there's a little bit of shame involved. There's a little bit of
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm doing my thing. I'm like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like it was none of that. He was just like, yeah, I do my art. And it was actually the most confident the entire dinner that she had seen him was like,
Mm-hmm.
I do my art, and I'm putting things together and everything until I can have a come up and stuff. And she was like,
Right. Yeah.
"Oh, okay, wow, all right, that's really cool." And she finally asked him what his art was. This is like appetizers have come now, so they're like starting to kind of eat. But then she realizes she never actually asked him, and she was like, "What's your art, by the way?" And he smiles. And at first, it's like a. She said at first it was like a little smile, and then he couldn't help it. You could just see this like beaming smile burst through,
Mm-hmm.
which he also said was like very adorable when someone's just uncontrollably happy.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I'd love to show you." And she was like,
Immediate alarm bells. Even if it's like I made this movie and it's a big beautiful movie, it's still just like when the response is I could show you is
"Yeah."
troubling.
He's like,
Troubling to say the least.
I'd love to show you." And she was like, "Oh, okay. Like, is it?" And she's still thinking he's a painter, right? And she just assumed painter, because a lot of people, when you say your art, they
Say
assume
artist.
paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just assume because that's what artist meant for a long time.
For
but
a very long time.
but a bunch of other shit hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah. And so then she's like, "Oh wow, did you bring it here?" He's like, "I bring it everywhere with me." And she's like,
yep.
"Okay, what is it?" And he's like, "I have to show you." And he gets up, he walks, he like he leaves, right? And she's like a little bit she's a little bit taken aback, because now she's like, "Oh, okay." Like, I thought she was even saying she thought he meant, "I have to show you like later at my place or something."
Right. Yeah.
And so she's sitting there, like,
So he left the table.
left the table.
Okay.
My man's gone.
I got my guesses, but
And she's like munching on a crab rangoon when this dude sits back down
okay.
with a dummy in his lap.
Oh, it's better than I would have guessed. Oh, yes. Yes. Fuck yes. Oh, what'd that dummy say? What the?
with a dummy in his lap going. Okay, wait. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Going. "Nice to meet you."
Oh, it's like not good ventriloquist.
And not only is it not good, but this man's mouth can't stop moving.
Oh.
So instead of it being bad mumbled like ventriloquism, it's just him talking in a different voice while he doesn't make eye contact.
That's his art.
So he just looking down. He's just looking down the way he was when he was trying to be coy. And so he's looking down.
So you don't see his mouth.
So you don't see his mouth. Because if he tilts his head all the way down, it's like, where'd his mouth go?
Oh, I was not thinking ventriloquist. I'm so fucking happy. I was not thinking ventriloquist. Oh, boy.
It's
Oh.
it's so bad.
Would you like to join our thruple?
He's so bad at it, and it's fully
Oh.
his mouth could not be more open. It's actually it's actually like someone taught him the opposite of what ventriloquism is. His mouth is so open.
Or they just explained it to him conceptually, but no one showed him how to do it. They're like, yeah, but you make like the doll talk too. Got it. See you later. No, 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 there's more. There's more.
When I tell you that she told me that his mouth went, not to me.
For the listener, Josh moved his whole mouth.
You could see all my teeth the way I moved my mouth just now.
You stuck your tongue out. That's how.
This dude is licking his lips bad at ventriloquism. He will never have a chapped lip while doing ventriloquism.
He's lip licking bad at ventriloquism.
This man will never need chapstick. He is so bad at ventriloquism. And so then she.
You keep going. Go ahead.
So then she's sitting there and she's like, oh. And she just says, oh. Like, oh, okay. Still trying to be polite, right? And then he is steadily, just like, so Mark told me a lot about you. And she's like,
he lets the fucking doll take over the date.
Hard.
Ooh.
So Mark told
the title of this episode is going to be Logan's favorite thing ever. Oh man.
So Mark told me a lot about you. And this is just prepare yourself because it gets worse.
I'm so excited.
So then she's like, so Mark told me a lot about you.
The fucking voice, Josh.
He said that you were a beautiful woman. And he lied.
He's roasting her.
You are an incredibly beautiful woman.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it was going to turn into like the roast act with the ventriloquist dummy.
So then he's like, what do you do for a living? And just starts asking her all the questions that she just answered to him through the dummy.
Oh, he's like making her redo the date, but with the dummy.
She's just redoing the date to the dummy.
Oh, no, don't do that.
And so now she's like, I grew up at like, just like slowly giving him details like, oh, that's interesting. How are you liking your appetizer?
That's when you have to look at the guy and be like, I know he's not real. Like you can.
and then he goes,
my God.
He goes, yeah, Mark's kind of quiet around beautiful women. Say something. He goes, wait, don't make me laugh. Wait, shut up. Wait. Okay, Mark's kind of Mark gets nervous around beautiful women. Say something, dummy. And then he's like, sometimes I don't know what to say.
Yes. Yes.
And then as he gets the doll to talk, this is how bad, just so we can also for the listener, once again, illustrate how bad this person is at ventriloquism. Right. Yeah. When the dummy goes to speak again, the dude controlling him, Mark's gum falls out of his mouth.
feel like that should be a pretty common. Like, don't chew something while you're doing ventriloquism.
I mean, when you're not doing it well, you can do whatever you want. And so then,
Oh my god.
and so then, one of the servers walks up to check on them, like, you know, how they're liking their appetizer and everything, sees the dummy and goes, "What is this?" And so he turns to the server and it's like,
Get the fuck out of here. I'm on a date.
Goes, "Just two lovely people and a bonehead on a date. Guess who's the bonehead?"
Oh yeah, it's so old timey. I love it.
And then the server's like, oh, wow." He just says, "Wow," and walks away. And she said that for so then their food comes, right? So appetizers, but then the actual entree comes, and he doesn't put the dummy away. So he starts talking to her again.
We also brushed past the fact that he stashed this in the restaurant somewhere. We are totally blowing past the fact that he said, "I'll show you." Just went somewhere, assuming his car wasn't outside. I guess I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was at coat check. Maybe.
But like, if he brought the dummy prepared for that reveal already, way too much.
Yeah, already a killer.
Wow.
So then they're eating, and he straight up is eating and has sat the dummy because it was one of those 4-seat tables. And so he just sat the dummy in one of the chairs. So the dummy just sitting up while they eat.
Just staring at her chew with its lifeless eyes.
Just staring at her chest. Of no fault of his own. That's just where he was positioned.
I'm only comfortable ogling women with my dummy.
And then she said she can tell that the staff is like straight up watching them now. Like coming out of the kitchen to peek and walk back in.
Your friend is a fucking trooper, by the way.
And
the fact that he didn't sit down with the dummy and she didn't go nope and just walk out. It shows a lot of her character.
And so then when they start to like get close to finishing the entree, the server walks back up and it's like, "Hey, we were wondering, like, do you do like shows everywhere? Like just like starts like actually just engaging, like, do you do shows everywhere? And like what do you know?" And he excitedly grabs the dummy. And just starts talking to the server like all over again. And so then the server's like, "Can you show the guys in the kitchen?"
And he doesn't realize that they're making fun of him.
He doesn't at all.
Does not at all. Because 100% they're like, "Hey, you got to get him to come back here. I got to see this.
Come back here." And so then he was like, "Yeah, you know, I'll do my thing and everything." And you know, and the dummy is like, "We'd love to." And she said what had to be most of the staff walked out of the kitchen and just stood at the table.
Oh no!
Just watching this man do the worst act and they're dying laughing. So it's like he thinks he's killing, and
But
maybe
they're
he is.
laughing,
Who knows?
baby.
Because some
But
of them, like to be fair, some of them did not speak English. So I think some of them were just fully into the fact that a person was doing ventriloquism while only moving their mouth. I think no matter what language you speak,
right.
that is going to be universally funny.
Yeah, yeah. Being bad at ventriloquism transcends language. You can tell when it's going wrong.
Because I don't even know what jokes, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I don't even know what jokes he was doing or anything. It's just straight up the fact that he's this bad. It's like remarkable. And she was like, I was just like, like she said she was just like melting in her seat. And it's
Oh.
not like no one was like looking at her or anything. Everyone was focused on him, but she was like,
Well, listen, earlier they were all looking at her.
yeah, that's fair.
when the dummy first came out, everyone was looking at her just being like, oh, does she know about this? Does she like this? She does not. She does not
Yeah.
know or like about this.
I mean, she probably looked like she was down with it when they started eating, because then,
Yeah, no, they're like, oh, they must be together then.
yeah,
Because she's
yeah.
fine. She's fine with the dummy. Just sitting there eating with that. Oh,
Oh, man.
this you've made me so happy today, Josh.
And,
I was already having a pretty good day, and it got real good.
and then basically so she's like melting in her seat because she said that there's no way that they're like shoot. I remember her saying this of like how there was no way eventually that food was being cooked. Like too many of them were watching them. Because it's like a small restaurant, you know?
Right.
And
they hadn't gotten their food yet? Or no, they did. They did what they were eating.
They ate.
But other people in the
people-
restaurant now
Other people are just waiting. They're like, hey, yo,
are now sitting there pissed at this shitty ventriloquist.
that's just like, I would have loved to try the food. Unfortunately, I have a sensitive stomach.
Just imagine that Yelp review. Like, I went there on a date to have a meal, and we could not get served because some ventriloquist, the whole staff was gawking at a dummy who could not enunciate. 1 star, will not go back.
The food was great, but the show was terrible.
The ventriloquist act was all vowels. 1
All-
star.
All vowels and spit.
That must violate some sort of code. I don't know. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you I keep going back to like the moment before. Like, did he show up with like a big fucking suitcase? Like before the date was like, hey, can I stash this back here?
Can I put my roller bag here real quick?
Oh, did he ever try to like drink water while doing the ventriloquism? But like he's not good at it, so he just started drinking. It's like, would you? Oh man. Fuck me. That is so goddamn funny.
Man. But yeah, they didn't go on a second date.
Oh, really? Oh, darn it. I was really rooting for them. Because here's the thing. Even if he was really good at ventriloquism, it'd still be shaky whether he was getting that second date. You know?
I don't care if your art is music and if you're at a restaurant, you
Yes.
don't just pull out a guitar
This is a great point.
and start playing songs, like start
Yeah.
serenading.
Well, yeah, because I was already thinking about like, okay, even just thinking of it in terms of comedians I've known who just like will start like making people listen to their comedy, especially when they're like new at it, or whatever. On a date, they'll be like, well, here's, and then they just start laying out material. Already that is like weird. It's at least a conversation, so you can do it. But like, when you got to go get a thing. Because even if he was a painter, if he just started painting there, you'd be like, okay, you brought all that?
Imagine if you just started painting on the wall with like watercolors you brought.
I think this is technically vandalism. I don't.
In case someone asked you, what's your art? I have to show you. And then you just start painting lilies on a restaurant wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you don't have an unsettling art, if you just start doing it, it still throws you off.
Yeah. Yeah,
God, but now I'm imagining if he brought a guitar out and then he was a really bad guitarist.
It was just
Let me show you.
Like, let me show you the ways that I love. It was just like a guttural, like she was like,
look at this photograph.
You know what it was too that I think really messed him up is that his mouth was open, but he was trying to not move it. That actually makes sense now that would be the voice you'd make if you didn't close your mouth to do real ventriloquism, but you opened it, but you're like, like
having it wide open. Yeah, that's not the move. That's why a lot of them smile so they can like just do it through their teeth.
If you've ever been to the dentist, you've just done an impression of this dummy. That's essentially what it sounded like. Your dentist asks you a question and you're like, that is what the dummy. She said it was like she said that she said some of the words were so garbled she wasn't sure what the joke was. Like,
I also love that it sounds like he was doing the oldest of ventriloquist shtick too.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking vaudeville. Like that is old shtick.
Let's just say that blackface was normal when that type of act was popular. That's how old your thing is. You're not even hitting the roaring 20s. We're talking 1919.
Yeah. There weren't even separate water fountains yet because they hadn't been invented.
Yeah. Dude, this was the oldest just and the fact that it was like the fact that for whatever reason, look, killing is killing. The fact that he was killing with the staff is also somehow both impressive and more embarrassing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because now she is not just his hostage, but everyone's.
Imagine you're in a hostage situation and some of the people, you're talking to the negotiator and then some of the people are like, we like it in here.
Give us a gun. I'm joining. Like, yeah. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. And I mean, I guess good for him because you said he was really content. Seemed really.
I mean, this is what I think is actually happening. I feel like one, this dude lives within his means, which is why he's not really pressed for money. And then two, I think that he's so bad that it's entertaining that he gets work. I could see that happening. Because here's the thing. If this dude went on America's Got Talent, I think he'd take it all the way. I think it would be so funny that they would actually give him the golden star. They hit that golden button. They put him through the next round. He shows up and you're like, man, this guy's like a really funny comedy act who did like a fake ventriloquism for his first thing. And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Then he starts again and it's worse. It's worse the first time. But you're laughing so hard now because you're like, I can't believe anybody would do this act again. That's hilarious.
How he wasted his golden star on this.
And then, but then even that's funny. And so then it's so funny that he just keeps getting promoted to the next round. And by then
Hmm.
he's an American sweetheart. Like by then he's just like,
Yeah.
it's like people love how bad he is at this thing. And then there's just a Vegas show at the end of it where
Yeah.
you go to watch this dude talk for an hour and be like, uh what is what river is completely full of what river
I can't wait to see where this joke ends.
what river is completely full of what river is completely full of direct intention? The Pacific Ocean. And then you just sit there.
Jesus Christ.
And then you just sit there and you're like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
First off, not a river. You said ocean. And then next season, suddenly he's a judge on America's Got Talent. You're like, how did he?
How did he get to be a and then you sing your heart out and he's like, I wasn't really feeling it.
Where you can't really understand the notes he's given. Hi there. Everyone just kind of looks at him. I think that's a vote for yes.
Imagine how demoralizing it would be to be a comic going on America's Got Talent and then a dummy's hand gives you the thumbs down. I don't think you just quit comedy. I think you actively go on a killing spree. Like I think that's enough to break a human's mind.
Yeah.
So much so that they're like, I want nothing to do with society. I want nothing to do with anyone here.
A dummy told me I failed. I couldn't understand what he said. Terry Crews was there. I don't know. Reality exploded on me.
Terry Crews had to sit me down and tell me that even though I should have been able to understand it off the rip, the dummy said that I'm talentless and I have no future.
Holy shit. Oh. That's just beautiful. I don't know. It's chaos. What happened to your friend is horrible.
Yeah. I
but just
great person, but yeah, terrible luck.
In a weird way, in an indirect way, he did make art. Because that moment, that moment is beautiful.
Sure enough, absolutely.
Holy shit.
I was cleaning leaves off of this guy's roof. Like I didn't even know this guy, right? And I was cleaning leaves off his roof for a friend who had like, hey, you need some extra money. Do you want to do this thing, right? So it's like a friend of a friend.
Is this is in Louisiana or
This is in Louisiana, yeah.
Okay.
And so cleaning the like leaves out of the gutters and just the debris off the roof and branches and stuff. And while I'm there, I slip and I fall off the roof, right?
Jeez.
And I fall off the roof. And luckily, this is one of those like novelty houses where the roof is like way too slanted and way too long. So it's not actually that, like, I'm still scared because I'm falling, but it's not actually that high of a drop, right?
Right.
So when I fall, I like land on a bunch of flowers, like this flower bed, and I could tell the flowers were special when I landed in them. Like I knew as soon as my back hit those flowers, I was like, these were grown especially by someone whose hobby this is, because they look too nice to just be something naturally occurring. And I got out of the thing. I got out of the like flower bed and was just freaking out, trying to figure out how to both like get back on the roof because I don't know why, but the dude like took the ladder with him. So I climbed up
So he
there.
got you up there and then he left with it?
He got me up there and then he left with it because I guess he needed it for something else. He only had one ladder. And so I didn't know how I was gonna get back on the roof. And then I also didn't know how I was gonna make this like flower bed situation better.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I saw what's the one? Is it still a garden hoe, the little handheld one with the three spikes?
Uh, I don't know if that's called a garden hoe. I'm not sure what that's called. A
But
claw?
basically, yeah, I basically I grabbed one of the gardening tools that was like still laid out in the yard, and I just started digging these like tiny little holes and then putting my hand in the hole and just trying as hard as possible to make it look like a paw print. Cause I was like, if I can make enough paw prints now.
Trying to convince them some sort of vermin destroyed the
So then I was like,
Sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I started like poking all these holes and then like getting my hand in the hole, trying to like mold the hole to look like a paw print. And
Yeah.
then and then I did like maybe like nine of them. Like honestly, in the time that I did this, I really could have cleaned the roof, right? But I had to
So,
like,
I was just thinking of just like you spent way more time with your fake meerkat colony than you did with your
yeah,
actual job.
cause then I was like so freaked out that this is like a freelance job and I've done more damage, like I've done more harm than good, that maybe they wouldn't pay me. So I was like, I need to
Mm-hmm.
come up with something to where they're like, this wasn't his fault or he couldn't have, whatever, right? So
Right.
then I'm making the paw prints. I finally make what I think is enough leading from a little bushy area to the bed that I like fell in. Then I have to figure out how to get back up on the roof. So then I try a cartoonish amount of things. I actually tried to like, I don't know why I thought I had this balance. So you know the spade
Mm-hmm.
that you'll dig with.
Yeah.
There was another one of the like both mostly all the garden tools were like actually laid out, and so I grabbed the spade. I hit the spade into the ground at like the sharpest angle that I could, and then I tried to climb it up to the roof.
Oh,
So
was it was
like
like a full like long handle one,
it was a full log handle.
and you tried to
And
fucking
so
just Buster Keaton up it, like just
yeah,
like hoist yourself on a
100%.
stick.
And so I tried to like get myself to the top of it, and I got myself to the top one time and looked like a cat just like trying to balance on the top of this like garden hoe. I mean,
Going
I'm
back and
calling
forth.
everything a garden hoe. I'm sure
Yeah.
it wasn't a garden hoe, but at the top of the spade before I would fall and fall and fall.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I freaked out again because I was like, all right, I've done all this damage with the spade. I've done all this damage with the paw prints. And if I can't get back up on the roof, I'm not going to be able to convince them of like any sort of story, right? And so finally, I'm trying to remember how it happened. I basically like grabbed the fence and then got to the top of the like tried to like angle myself on the top of the fence with some balance and then jump from the fence to the lip of the roof, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
tried this like three times and I hurt myself every single time. Like I was more bloodied every single time um than the last time. And so finally I get up. I'm already like wiggling, but I just bend my knees and jump as far as I can and grab the gutter. And when I grab the gutter, I hear a little pop because my weight is like too much for the gutter.
Yeah,
And so I hear
gutters are
this,
real flimsy.
yeah. So I hear this pop and I'm like, I need to start grabbing like roof immediately. And so then I grab a little piece of roof and the little tile of roof that I grab starts slipping. And so I'm just like in an Acme cartoon, grabbing for dear life for anything they'll actually hold. And then I finally grab some like sturdy tile and start like making my way up. Like luckily I was still working out a lot when I lived in Louisiana, like while I was like still in college stuff. So I had been doing enough pull-ups that I could get myself at least stomach level up the roof
Hmm.
and then just start kicking my way up, right? So then I like kick my way up. I'm back on the roof and I have to start doing the leaves and the branches and all the like gutter stuff all over again, right? I
Yeah.
finish that and then I finished that, and then the guy gets back, and the guy gets back like almost perfectly around the time that I'm finished, right? And so I was like, I still haven't fully formulated how to sell my story in my own head. Because I've been thinking about it the whole time I've been doing leaves, I've been thinking about like, how am I going to convince this person that whatever happened happened,
What
right?
happened here wasn't a cartoon catastrophe.
Yeah. So then I
Joshy's big adventure. Like I just like, like just that title screen of you with a hoe in a destroyed garden. Like,
but basically, the guy rolls up and I'm done. And in my mind, the best thing to do was to fall off the roof again. And so I went to the lip where the loose tile was, and
yeah.
I made like a very audible, like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh no.
And then I kick the tile off of that lip where the
Mm.
gutter popped and the tile was slipping, and then I like try to land on my feet but land like right on my butt. Like I it couldn't have it the only way it could have gone horribly is if I had landed on my collarbone or something. But I fall. He
There's
runs.
multiple ways for it to have gone poorly. You were
Well,
you were purposely falling off of a roof.
but I'm just saying for the angle that I chose, because he
Right.
still couldn't
Okay.
see me whenever I did this. Like he was still at the front of the house, and I'm towards the back, right?
So, so just walk me through again. Why, in your mind, was the right decision to re-fall off the roof? Why did you think like, oh, this'll cover it. This'll solve the situation if I
It's
just
gonna
throw myself? Oh, it comes back. Okay. All
it's
right.
gonna make sense in a minute.
Okay.
So then
Okay.
So then I fall, right? He hears me yell and fall. So he runs down the side of the house to me
Mm,
laying on the ground, right?
yeah.
And I had to like extra sell it. Like I Family Guy, like try to put one of my legs behind my body, like really look like something might be busted, right? And then he was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Like, "Oh, I never should have taken the ladder." Like all this apologetic stuff, right? And I'm like, "I'm okay. I just feel so bad about that. I mean, I don't even know what it was like, and I'm trying to get him to say it in case there's anything he's been dealing with. Like, is there like a dog or something you guys have been have been dealing with? Because this animal, I was finishing up, right? And this animal runs over and is just like bounding around in your yard. And then I was trying to throw something at it to get it to stop, and that's when I fell, right? Because so that way he would connect me falling with my story, right?
Right.
And then he was like, it worked out perfectly because he was like, that damn fat cat. He's like, there's an obese cat in the neighborhood that nobody wants to claim, but it's been wreaking havoc for months. And I was like, oh, that must have been what it was. I didn't get a good look at it, but I was trying to throw a stick at it or something to get it out of those beautiful flowers. And he hadn't even noticed the flowers until I said that. And he looked over at the flowers and he lost it. He was like, my wife's gonna kill me. And I was like, I was correct in trying to make up a story because
Yeah.
I've never even met the wife or anything, but I know that these flowers are just as important as I felt like they were when they were in my back.
Well, you definitely got that cat killed though. That's
I mean,
you put a target on that cat's head.
maybe, but like no one knows when the cat comes and goes. It's one of the fittest obese like street cats is how he described it, because he's like it's fat but it's still fast.
Well, yeah.
So
That's cat's
ideally
thing.
nobody would, you know, come
That's
after it.
I. I mean, I commend you, like the leaps of logic that you took to be like, I know how to cover this. I never would have thought, like, I don't know, I'll dig holes. How old were you? So you were in college at this point.
Yeah, I'm like 20. I'm like 21.
You're way too old to have this fucking Rugrats adventure. No,
But
I think, oh, the cat did it.
In all the years he's been on the show, Maury has never fucked up a black name. Think about that shit. Over 20 years on the air, Don Twavius says it like it's nothing. I'll mess up the name in my head. I'll be like, that's not even a word. That can't be a name. Maury will just sit there unfazed. They'll put the baby on the screen. You know, like, the show been on long enough that now, even in our DNA, we know we shouldn't be on Maury. So even the baby look embarrassed to be on Maury. Like, even the baby, like, it's not my fault. And I'll see the screen below the name, and I'll be like, is that a 2 in that nigga's name? And then Maury, without even missing a beat, will like, when it comes to the case of 6-month-old Twain, I'm like, wow! He said it with his full chest. No ums, no uhs. Wow. Have y'all used Threads yet? Okay, a couple woos. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It seems okay. You know what I mean? Seems like what the old internet used to be. You remember that old, like, AOL text type? That's what it feels like. I just can't wait for Threads to become a dating app. Because that's what happens. Like, men are too horny and nasty not to turn everything into a dating app eventually. Anything with DMs becomes a dating app almost instantaneously. It's crazy. Men will turn Uber Eats into a dating app. We'll be like, we'll get the pizza delivered and be, if she cute, you like, I got a whole pizza if you want to hang out for a little while. Like, dudes turned the phone into a dating app before dating apps. A lot of people don't know about it. So, in March 7th of 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was given the patent for the telephone. But they don't put it in the history books that on March 8th of 1876 was the first time somebody made a phone call and was like, what the fuck you wearing, bitch? And what color are those pantaloons? Oh, they're beige? Oh, you little trollop. Yeah, what color? I don't know. Whenever Tupac was murdered, it really was like Black Elvis. Like, we couldn't accept it. We were like, no, he went to Cuba because they was looking for him. Not likely, all right. But we never did that with Biggie. You notice that? Tupac and Biggie got shot within months of each other. And Tupac were like, no, he gonna come back one day. And Biggie, we were like, yeah, that checks out. That's wild. I can't help but think it's because Biggie was heavy. I think deep down we know if it wasn't the bullets, it would have been butter. You know what I mean? Like, Biggie was not long for this. It was gonna be the streets or the kitchen. One of them was coming for Biggie. You know? Just popped in my head this week. Sometimes you just have memories of when you were little for no reason. I've been thinking about my life and thinking about growing up and stuff, and I just had this thing. From when I was a little kid, I went to the grocery store with my grandma, And this was not a good grocery store. We didn't have it like that. So it was a discount grocery store, and it was pretty bad. Like, it was one of the ones where you go in and the meat is $3. But then when you ask what type of meat it is, the butcher be like, why are you asking all these questions, dog? Like, just take it or don't take it. And I don't know how to describe it, but there's a weird thing that when you're in a bad situation, but you're used to it, just feels normal, you know? And so I was hanging out with my grandma. We were walking. She was putting stuff in the cart and everything. And then we heard an argument that turned into a fight on the other aisle, right? And it's loud, and they're knocking stuff over off the shelves and stuff, and they're screaming at each other. And one of them's like, you don't get out my face, I'll shoot you. Yeah, like nothing you want to be a part of. And I saw my grandma turning down to go down that aisle. And I'm 6 years old, but I'm like, Grandma, do we really need to... And she like, I need the bread. They not fighting me, all right? And the night before I went to the grocery store with my grandma, I was at home. I was watching TV. And because we didn't have a ton of money growing up, cable was a luxury. And it was a luxury that my mom had at time. Because she wanted to give me what other kids had, but she just knew she couldn't really give it to me all the time. So we had to plan cable. So my mom... we would have it for 3 months, not have it for 6, you know. My mom would sit me down and be like, all right, so you gonna see the beginning of the season of Friends. But you're gonna have to find out about Ross and Rachel from word of mouth, all right? And so I remember this night was special because everyone had gone to bed without sending me to bed. So I'm 6 years old, and I'm just up late. Everybody's asleep. I got control of the remote. This is crazy. I'm about to watch whatever comes on late. This is wild. So I was flipping channels and stuff, and in my head, I'm like, if I don't keep it too loud, nobody will even notice. I can watch whatever I want. This is amazing. And when you're little, you're just excited for it to be late because you just never experienced late before. Like I was just running around like 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., right? So I remember I was flipping channels and I landed on Night of the Living Dead. And I watched Night of the Living Dead at 6 years old, which is far too young for me because I don't even know about real life yet. So I don't know if this stuff can happen or not. Side note, I found out years later, back in the day when they were making horror movies, like the early horror movies, their prosthetics weren't that good. So if you got hired to be a zombie, you were just ugly. Like that's... There's a little history tidbit for you. Anyway, I'm watching it, and it's terrifying. This is crazy. I was like, this is a bad idea. I can see why they sent me to bed. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. This is crazy. So I went to bed, and then, you know, next day, wake up, go with my grandma to the grocery store, and as she's about to turn the aisle, we hear like a scream and a big, loud thud, and then silence. And I was like, Grandma, are you sure that we want to turn this corner? Because he said I'm going to shoot anybody in my face, and if we turn the corner, we're going to be in his face. What if he misses the person he aiming at? You know? She's like, boy, come on. And so then what we would find out later, what was actually happening, was there was a fight between two dudes in wheelchairs. That's why it was such a ruckus and everything was getting knocked over, because they get knocked over, but they got to roll back up. Punch. And so the thud that we heard was the finishing move from the first guy, because what he did, they had been scuffling and knocking stuff over with their chairs and everything, and then finally he just grabbed that dude by the collar and threw him out his chair. And so when we turn the corner, all we see is just a bunch of bread and rice on the ground. That dude done rolled off already. And so the only thing that I see coming at me is a dude with no legs crawling like this. So I'm like, my grandma would grab me and pull me to the other aisle. She was like, boy, what is wrong with you? That is an amputee. You need to have some damn compassion. And I told her, I was like, Grandma, I don't know what an amputee is, but that nigga is a zombie, all right? I do wonder, and this is a genuine question. I'm being sincere. This isn't like, I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. Does anyone here believe in aliens? Okay, so this is my thing. I believed in aliens so hard when I was little. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, it's just us in the whole universe? Come on, really? Just us, a whole universe. That seems wild, right? And then as I get older, it's becoming harder for me to believe in aliens. Because especially after everything up until 2023, it's hard to believe in aliens because Trump didn't mention it while he was president. Like that man told every secret. Anything they told him, he told us in an hour. Like they would be in the room with this man and be like, "You're not gonna tell anybody, right?" And he's like, "No." And then he leaves and he's like, "Folks," like that was. He could not keep a secret at all. He had the leakiest White House of all time. And he never mentioned aliens, so now I'm like, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. It's a tough one. For the people who believe in aliens, once again, I'm being sincere. I wonder if aliens haven't made broad daylight obvious contact with us because they think we're boring or because they've seen how we treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was an alien above Earth looking down all this time, I'd be like, oof. They don't even like when you have different skin. And I got 3 dicks, so they gonna kill me immediately, just out of jealousy if nothing else. God damn, might as well stay up here where it's safe. Ooh. I feel this is a weird thing. I respect that people have to be like choosy when they're dating, and sometimes you have to make choices based off, like you get a little inkling of a thing and you call it a red flag, or because you're like, I know how it's gonna go after that. And sometimes people are overly harsh about that, but it's necessary, you know? Like I think about my friend, I went to a club with my buddy and he had a full like almost rom-com experience. He saw this woman across the club, truly across the club. He was like, the light was just shining on her a little extra, you know. So then my man made his way over, and it was almost like the dance floor was parting as he was walking over to her. And then he gets up to her, he lays his thickest game on that he has. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, mind if I buy you a drink or something? And she turns around and looks him up and down and goes, no. Nah, that's not what we doing. And he tries one more time. He's like, why can't I buy you a drink? Get to know you. We might like each other. And she looks him up and down again and she goes, your shoes. Which I know, it sounds super vapid. That's wild. It sounds really materialistic, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm on her side. Because when he looked down, both his shoes were untied. And it's like, yeah, bro, how did you... There's no better way to walk up to a woman and be like, you have to take care of me eventually, than to have both your shoes untied when you approach the conversation. How'd you even make it over without tripping? It's crazy. Dude, one shoe could happen to anybody. Both shoes hasn't happened since the 3rd grade, all right? If you approach a woman with both your shoes untied, you might as well walk up with a glass of milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. Talking about, you want to be friends? Because that's what the fuck you look like with both your shoes untied. It's insane. I was watching a movie this week. Have you heard of Downfall? Anybody? Okay. It's a German movie, and it's about the last 10, 12 days of like Hitler and the Third Reich. It was like when they were losing the war, and it's from the account of the secretary that was in the bunker, of just like, you know, Hitler was freaking out and everything. And it got me to thinking, like, how do you contend with the idea that there's a higher power while watching all of the horrible stuff that happened around the world in World War II. It's like the worst atrocities against humanity happen, but also there's supposed to be this higher power that's fully in control and everything. And people talk about if they could go back in time, they'd kill baby Hitler and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, yeah. But if I was God, I think I would have just given Hitler a real high voice. Ain't nobody following him then. If that dude rock up and be like, listen to me. There's something happening in the fatherland that must be stopped. I don't even think you let that dude work fast food. You'd be like, nah, that voice too annoying. He's like, listen to me about the Jews. It's like, no. I worry about family. I worry about my cousin because he an idiot. He is. My cousin is wild. So my cousin joined a cult, right? I know, which is a big deal for that cult because they don't get a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like they were so excited to have a black friend. That was crazy. They were like, and I remember somebody told me to join the cult, and so I went ahead and looked it up, you know, because I'm worried about my cousin. I want him to be all right. I look it up. And I could tell he was in danger because the website was trash. It was like, I was like, Comic Sans, he is in danger, all right? This is terrible. They really crazy out here. That's wild. Broken link, 404 not found. Oh, Lord. They might already did it, okay. And so, basically, I went ahead and was talking to him. In my mind, the best thing to do was just go ahead and go to one of his meetings with him. Because the thing that cults do is that they create a shared language and a shared experience that no one outside the cult can actually understand or participate in unless they're in it. So then when you tell your friends and family about it, they look at you skeptical. They just don't understand because they weren't there, right? But if they come there with you, like if I show up with him and hear the dude preaching and just turn to him like, nigga, like, that might break it. And so I went there and it was this weird house and everything. And I sat down and including me in the room, the whole cult congregation was 4 people. And I was like, this is not a cult at all. Y'all just 2 idiots doing a guy favors. This is not, your cult can't even move a pool table. What are you doing? I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, before the pandemic, they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman on like the 20 or something. I don't even remember what bill it was. And it was like, everyone had an opinion immediately. There were people who thought it was great. There were people who didn't care, you know, a little bit, and then it turned out they cared. You know? And then there were people that were like, no, we can't have this happen. You know? And then Mnuchin said he'd block it, and he did, you know, so it never happened. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I need Harriet on the 20. What bothers me the most is how has Harriet Tubman not had her own sneaker yet? Like, that seems... Yeah, I mean, think about it. Who is more deserving of a sneaker deal throughout all the history of America than Harriet Tubman? Come on. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, she was the LeBron of escaped slaves, okay? She was putting up numbers. She got a lot of the people to freedom. Buckets. That would have been a motherfucker to be a slave owner while Harriet was around. You come outside, ain't nobody there. You're like, the commercial writes itself. It does. You know, I just beat the Golden State Warriors in my new Adidas Maxes. And it's like, oh, I ran to freedom. How about that? How do you beat that shoe? You don't. I love visiting my white friends because they always got new pets. They always got new pets they think are normal. Cause like we all read fairy tales and stuff. We were little. We all watched the Jungle Book. I don't know what was happening. I was raised by black people, so I have no idea what was happening in white households. But I feel like there were extra chapters in those books because white people really out here thinking every animal is their friend. Like that's dude, white communion with nature is like almost upsetting. It's like. And I went over to my buddy's house, and something hit me in my face, like real hard. And I thought it was a garbage bag, right? And I was like, it's not even air conditioning here for a garbage bag to be floating around. So I was like, and it was loud too. Like it hit me like, and then I turned around. I was like, what was that? He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I got a bat. You got a what? He's like, no, I got a bat. I'm like, where? What? What the fuck? You live in a studio, you have a bat. Where's it even sleep? And he's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. He answered me like I was being unreasonable. He's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. That's insane. It really is. I got another buddy. He got his dog. This is the oldest dog I've ever seen in my life. This dog, 22. It's so old. You know how when dogs get old enough, their bark change? This dog bark like, bark. It's half scream, half bark. The dog is so old, it got human problems. So he take your dog to the vet and be like, oh yeah, his psoriasis acting up. God damn. What the fuck does that happen? And then the vet like, yeah, he's got a little bit of dementia. I'm like, dementia? This dog gonna be meowing in 3 days. That's crazy as hell. That dog went, bark, bark, meow. And it's crazy too, because because his back legs, he didn't even have an accident. His back legs just done being legs. Like, his back legs are like, bro, we 22. Like, we are 6,000 in dog years. It's done. And so then they got him the wheelchair for dogs. You know what I mean? But then, he don't really know how to use it, so he adjusts it. But now he can finally, like, really run again because it's wheel powered now. And so now he be running, but then can't fully control where he going. So then he'll be turning, and the shit look like Tokyo Drift. It's the dopest shit I've ever seen, because the dog will get excited and start running, and they're like, no, nothing for you. It's just crazy, because like when you okay, this is where you won't like me anymore. At least with dogs, there's like that could be your best friend, but you can see, oh, okay, they don't have a quality of life. It's not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and, take them to the vet and, put them down and everything. And nobody wants to do that. It's a horrible thing. Like, I've had to do it for a pup before, and it's very sad. But it is like, I think it should go the other way. Because every man in here got a boy where you like, he don't have no quality of life. Steve life in shambles, all right? Sheila left him, she not coming back. She happier now that she don't have him. So I think I gotta put my boy down. You take Steve to Disneyland and you just having a great day, and you like, all right. I know. We caught you. I'll be vulnerable for a second. I thought I had it all figured out, I was sexting. And sexting's a very precarious situation. You want to make sure you're sexting at the right time, Because if it's like 8 o'clock, you still got other people texting you, You don't want to accidentally send a text that's incoming to somebody because you opened the thing, And it's also like, what if you're not that skilled? Like, what if I'm not good texting with just my left hand? Now you texting typos and stuff. It's knocking the sexy right out of your sextant. You know, it's like, I'm gonna fud your bass. It's like, nobody's into it now. You know? So I had an idea. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I had never heard anybody doing this, but in my mind, it was the best thing to do. I was like, I'm just gonna speak to text. So that way, I don't gotta worry about the other hand and everything, and I can just like get in the zone and stuff. I don't have to worry about other people texting me and everything. And it went horribly wrong. Because I wasn't at home. I was at my childhood home. So I was in my room, but it wasn't my house, you know? And it was, 9 o'clock or so, and we were sexted that, look, I'll read you the thing right now. This is what. Okay. All right. So she's like, oh, okay. And what would you do if you were here right now? And then I was like, girl, I would tear those clothes off. And Mom, what are you doing in here? Mom, I had the door closed. You can't just open the door. I was just coming to see if you wanted dinner. No, I'm okay. Mom, get out right now. Boy, how you gonna tell me to get out somewhere in my house? I'm sorry, Mom. Please, can you please leave and close the door? You know we don't have closed doors in this house. Which is true. That's a very like black family thing of like you not closing the door in my house. What you up to in there? I was like, Mama, please leave. Please, please leave. And she was like, all right, what's the big deal? I was like, nothing, Mom. Just please get out of here. So anyway, girl, I would say... All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.
Josh Johnson! Oh, that was so funny.
I love visiting my white friends because they always got new pets. They always got new pets they think are normal. Because, like, we all read fairy tales and stuff. We were little. We all watched the Jungle Book. I don't know what was happening. I was raised by black people, so I have no idea what was happening in white households. But I feel like there were extra chapters in those books because white people really out here thinking every animal is their friend. Like, that's... Dude, white communion with nature is, like, almost upsetting. It's like... And I went over to my buddy's house, and something hit me in my face, like real hard. And I thought it was a garbage bag, right? And I was like, it's not even air conditioning here for a garbage bag to be floating around. So I was like, and it was loud too. Like it hit me like, and then I turned around. I was like, what was that? He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I got a bat. You got a what? He's like, no, I got a bat. I'm like, where? What? What the fuck? You live in a studio, you have a bat. Where's it even sleep? And he's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. He answered me like I was being unreasonable. He's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. That's insane. It really is. I got another buddy. He got his dog. This is the oldest dog I've ever seen in my life. This dog, 22. It's so old. You know how when dogs get old enough, their bark change? This dog bark like, bark. It's half scream, half bark. The dog is so old, it got human problems. So he take your dog to the vet and be like, oh yeah, his psoriasis acting up. God damn. What the fuck does that happen? And then the vet like, yeah, he's got a little bit of dementia. I'm like, dementia? This dog gonna be meowing in 3 days. That's crazy as hell. That dog went, bark, bark, meow. And it's crazy too, because because his back legs, he didn't even have an accident. His back legs just done being legs. Like, his back legs are like, bro, we 22. Like, we are 6,000 in dog years. It's done. And so then they got him the wheelchair for dogs. You know what I mean? You know, the wheelchair. But then he don't really know how to use it, so he adjusts it. But now he can finally, like, really run again because it's wheel powered now. And so now he be running, but then can't fully control where he going. So then he'll be turning, and the shit look like Tokyo Drift. It's the dopest shit I've ever seen, because the dog will get excited and start running, and they're like, no, no, no. It's just crazy, because like when you okay, this is where you won't like me anymore. At least with dogs, there's like that could be your best friend, but you can see, oh, okay, they don't have a quality of life that is not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and, take them to the vet and, put them down and everything. And nobody wants to do that. It's a horrible thing. Like, I've had to do it for a pup before, and it's very sad. But it is like, I think it should go the other way. Because every man in here got a boy where you like, he don't have no quality of life. Steve life in shambles, all right? Sheila left him, she not coming back. She happier now that she don't have him. So I think I gotta put my boy down. You take Steve to Disneyland and he just having a great day, you like, all right.